Welcome to Make Pods Great Again. I'm your host, John Woolley, back in the quarantine with my girl, Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How's it going?
It's going awesome. I think this is going to be one of my favorite episodes that we've done because I always love it when we have media people on because I'm always the third worst voice on the podcast. And tonight will absolutely be the case as we have Rory Mckernan with us. Rory, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, I was never accused of having a good voice, though, just for the record. I was, in fact, Nikki, I probably told you this story, but like the first time that we ever made it to actual television, like when we were on ESPN for the first time, I would always have high school buddies or college buddies reach out and be like, dude, I saw you on TV at the bar. You were fantastic. And I knew like for a fact there was no way they could hear me in a bar.
Right,
so what they're really saying was like, hey, you look good, man. And I was like, that's a dream job. You know, I didn't have to hear my voice, just smile on camera. So but thanks, guys. It's fun to be here.
We had Sean Woodland on the other day, and every time he
That's
talked, every time he talked, I just swoon. I just feel like, oh my God, he sounds so great. I sound like such a douchebag.
I think Sean should like read bedtime stories. You know how now that we're in quarantine, there's like, like famous actors are like sort of like stepping out of the woodwork to like read stories and things for people's kids. Sean should totally do that.
You know what? There was a time when during our weekly meetings at HQ, Sean Woodland would read from the book called Rap Lyrics Explained.
Oh,
and it was just like he's the whitest guy on the planet, and he's got a fantastic voice. And he would read the rap lyrics, and then he would read the explanation. If you guys don't have the book, you should get the book. And if you can get Sean Woodland to read it to you, then you're in for a treat.
It's basically like Urban Dictionary, right? Like he's like reading Urban Dictionary.
It's basically like Urban Dictionary, but it takes actual rap lyrics, which of course are outrageous. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My God.
And interprets them in a very just tongue-in-cheek way.
Amazing.
I think I need to write like a CrossFit kids book, and we'll have Sean read it. It'd be like, see Matt run, see Matt jump, see Matt climb ropes. It'll be great.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, but they're way too old for those types of books.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Is anyone ever really too old for that kind of book, though? Come on.
No, we still talk about those books.
Yeah,
there's still some of those. We still reminisce from time to time when we were back in the VeggieTales days and all those fun little things.
How it's funny. These are weird back-to-back questions, but how explicit is this podcast or not? Or like, do we stray from cussing? There was an adult children's book that Samuel L. Jackson reads.
Yes, I love that.
Yes.
Oh, dude, such a good one. So maybe you could make the CrossFit version of that for kids.
It's called "Fuck the Assault Bike."
Yes, there you go. Exactly.
Has to be.
Yes. It could be the same title because after a CrossFit workout, all you want to do is go the fuck to sleep. You know?
Yeah,
yes.
That's true.
Oh my God, that's $1 million idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'll work on it.
So what's going on, man? This is fun. Nikki, you kind of broke it down before we were on the air. Like this is just shooting the breeze with folks trying to pass the time while we're stuck in the house, huh?
That's exactly it. Yeah. It's like now's a really cool time to catch up with everyone because life is a little bit slower. Most of us are stuck at home, and typically we'd be hard pressed to find you not traveling or catching up with Mayhem or doing things, related to all things media. So the fact that we're kind of all able to catch up and just chat about life has been a really nice opportunity.
Yeah, we're lucky though. I don't know if how it is where you guys are, but Tennessee is interesting because we're kind of like light at the end of the tunnel already. We've got I'm sitting. So this is the new coffee shop at CrossFit Mayhem, and the gym is actually open at half capacity. So
wow,
Tennessee's got we're on the front end of the kind of moving back into real life and real world stuff. So for those people who are not in that situation, like my heart goes out to you, but yeah, but it's nice. I'm trying to like make sure that I'm not bragging or rubbing people's face in it, but trying instead to show them like, hey, there is a light, like there is an end coming.
Yeah. Is it like weird being back around people in some capacity?
It totally is. Yeah. It totally is. And I've strayed towards the more cautious side, I think, during this whole thing. So it's been weird for me even when it wasn't weird, I guess, because some people, obviously, everybody's got their own interpretation. Some people are a little bit more cavalier. But yes, the re-entry into civilization and like the sorry, I don't shake hands or the air high five, elbow bump, or whatever it is it is. It's a crazy world, but I mean, it's going to be the new reality for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure this isn't just Southerners being Southerners? I grew up in the South. Like, no, this is a true story. I grew up in the South, and, you know, somebody will die and then be like, oh, dear Lord, Bessie Mae died. What happened? Oh, she got the Rona, bless her heart. You know, like, that's what it's like. Like, this
Take some dirt on her.
Yeah, like, swear to God. So this is 100% factual. People will love this because it's about my dad. So my dad's mother, we called her Mama. She lived to be 96. God bless her.
Wow.
And she tells a story about when my dad was a baby. This is in Mississippi, deep South, that he died. And so what they did was they went and got some sort of ointment, rubbed it on him, and held him over the fire, and he just came back to life.
What?
Like, swear to God, that's the South, man. That is the South. Like, so.
Oh God, Roy.
He beat death. He beat death down as a baby. So,
what is this magic ointment?
Wow.
I don't even remember now.
It's more likely that it was the flames licking his back that probably like tore him out.
His ass up.
Well, maybe, but like, I wonder, like, you know, I just like, I've always wondered if this, you know, like Georgia's already open again, Florida's starting to get open. Like, South's a tough place, man. Like, it just is, you know.
It is, or you know, like another way to think of it too is like, it's, especially where we are, it's naturally socially distanced. Mm-hmm. It's just it's not apples to apples with New York City, or even Nashville to Cookeville is such a dramatic difference in population density that I think that has a lot to do with it. But to your point though, yeah, I mean, like, that's why there's rich Fronings here, you know, just tough people.
Totally. I'm like find myself very much right in the middle, because I'm like ready for the gym to be open, and I'm ready to be back to real life, and I'm ready to go like sit at a restaurant and see my friends and stuff. And at the very same time, I think to myself, like, all right, so if the gym were to reopen tomorrow and like I were to coach in a room of even just 4 to 6 people breathing super heavy, do I even want that yet? Like, I do and I don't. Like, I'm ready for real life, but also like, please don't come near me. I'm having a little bit of a hard time adjusting.
Oh, for sure. And I'll tell you what, man, some massive takeaways for me. Like, I've been around my family the more in the last, whatever it is, 4 or 5 months than I have in a long time, like consecutive days. And I love it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's, you know, the not travel, I'm really cool with a very slow pace of life, which is weird because I don't know how you are with this, but like when I'm not in like on mode where I'm doing some sort of a media event or something, I'm fairly antisocial, you know, like I'm a little bit introverted. I like nature is where I kind of get plugged back in. That's where I recharge. And so yeah, some of this downtime, I've been like, man, this is pretty cool, man.
Oh,
you know,
totally.
It's been a good wake up call that like, you know, hey, the slower pace of life is actually maybe a little bit more healthy for you.
Yeah, I've been feeling the same thing. I mean, I miss our friends that we get to see when we travel, and just the idea of traveling and being a part of, you know, the greater CrossFit community and doing the media stuff. Like, I do miss it. There's obviously a part of me that is like heartbroken that we haven't had a chance to do it as much lately. But like, yeah, I mean, quarantine has been really tough for some people. I'm not one of them. Being home, and I'm busy with work anyway, so it's fine. Like, I'm definitely occupied, but like being in the house with my husband and the dogs, and like, you know, we have a puppy that I would have missed like a lot of weekends hanging out with, and put my garden in. Like, I don't hate it. I really don't.
I'm with you.
I've loved it. I've loved it. Both my daughters work. They're 16 and 18. And so they both have jobs. And so they haven't been working. And so when they're here and they can't leave to go hang out with their friends. So they're actually spending time with me, which is great. So that part's been really fun. I do miss the gym. I miss, like, today I was working out and I was doing max handstand holds, and I'm inverted and my arms are just shaking, and there's nobody there to like cheer you on or even give you credit for the work. You know, you just got to put it in by yourself. Like, I want credit for the work. I want my coach to go, hey, you worked hard today. Like,
yes,
you know, like my cat doesn't give a shit, you know? So it's just not the same. So I miss the gym. I'm ready to get back.
Have you guys found that you're doing things you never would have done though, like fitness wise specifically, that you were doing, like if there was no break from the gym, that you wouldn't have done otherwise?
I'm not really, but I have a very unique situation, or you're probably like this too, where like I have a key to the gym. So like we still go to the gym. We're alone. It's just the two of us. But we still go. So I still have access to like all the plates and all the, you know, for the people that like can't max out or can't get to 80 or 90%, and they're just doing like tempo shit all the time, or like new stuff, or they're running when they don't normally, not not so much for me. I've been able to mainly stay on track, but I know a lot of people are, because they've had to adapt.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
probably.
Yeah.
The only changes for me is like I'm not going as heavy as I do in the gym because I don't like to do max lifts at home. Like it just
Totally.
makes me nervous lifting by myself. I don't want my daughters to find me dead 3 days later, you know.
That's nice.
But the volume of what I'm doing is incredibly higher, and that I wouldn't do. Like, you know, because I have all this free time, I have a C2 bike in my living room, and I'll just hop on it. Next thing I know, an hour's passed. You know, and I've just been sitting there pedaling my ass off for an hour, you know.
Well,
So
and hey, don't be coy. You told us before the cameras were rolling that you had a 4-a-day today.
4 times.
Guys going to the CrossFit games next year.
Seriously.
yeah, look, well, again, my workouts are way less intense than yours, but it's yeah, you just like you have free time, you know, and so you
find time.
Like, what else am I going to do around the house? I could watch YouTube, or I could do front squats. So I'm going to do front squats, you know.
Or now you can do both.
Yeah, now I can do both.
True.
Yeah.
It's our new reality, and most people actually are, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
in that regard, it's been good though.
What's the home life and the work life and everything been looking like for you lately, Ro?
Hey, some big changes since our last interview, my friend.
I know. How funny. We're going to do this every time you have like momentous life changes. We're just going to like hop on together.
I'm just going to stop taking your calls, or I like have a career shift.
Right?
So last time I saw you was the Mayhem Classic, and at the time I was with Noble full time, and man, there was some amazing opportunities that came up for me, and you know Charlie Doobie, but a very close friend of mine who his company is called Hamilton Road Productions. He does Rogue's Iron Game. He was, for the sake of viewers who don't know, Charlie came to HQ around 2012 or 13. Basically on spec, he wrote a script for an update show, and at which time I was like writing everything, trying to, you know, produce and be on it, and falling short in all facets of that. And we were like, oh yes, come on out. Anyways, he grew into be our post-production producer and the producer of the talent on the update show. So anyways, fast forward, Charlie's got this Hamilton Roads production. We had an awesome plan to help Sanctionals do basically what we did at Mayhem at the Classic. That was Charlie's work also, where we were going to help them with their live production and try and do it for a cost that was like really fair for them. Well, it was going really well. And then this global pandemic thing happened. And all of a sudden, as you might have guessed, live events were not happening at all.
Right.
But as luck would have it, like friendships and work relationships developed here at Mayhem as well. And so these guys asked me to come on full time and help them on a business development front, and in particular help Rich with his endorsement deals. And it's just been awesome. It's been like about as close to a dream scenario, really, because it doesn't require the travel. You know, like I was saying, one of the big realizations of the last year was I do love to travel. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, going to, even though it was a turbulent emotional time because of like leaving HQ, going to all the sanctionals last year, like from Shanghai and Reykjavik, and getting to see the world and hang out with friends all over the place was awesome. But when I look downrange and I'm like, what do I want to be doing in 5-10 years? Like, you know, I would like to go on those vacations with my family.
Totally.
So it's been, it's a really long story to say that, yeah, man, I'm full-time on with these guys. And it's one of those businesses where, strangely, and I don't know how to like say this the right way, but like probably more busy than we ever were because there's so many offerings in terms of e-commerce and online training. And of course, now the gym's opening back up. We've got events we're planning. So it's been exciting, man. It's been nonstop hits. Like, I'm a grinder. I like to be working. So there's no shortage of that here.
That's so funny. You know, I've noticed the same thing, only, you know, like working in marketing and working in advertising in a lot of different capacities, that some of my clients are like busier than ever because we're switching our habits as a world to a lot of online e-com and a lot of, you know, online communications. And it's just, if you're in it the right way, and you're not like, you know, weirdly profiteering off the fact that we're in a global pandemic, but if you do it the right way, it's like, it's necessary. It's like communication that we are all hungry for because we need some kind of contact. And we're like, you know, changing our habits to work out at home, to order online, to do things in the right way. So I'm really glad that you landed in this spot at a time where you can use your skills to like expand it for everyone else too.
Yeah, thank you. And it's going to be, it's really cool. And actually bringing up an interesting point. It's not there are some people like Mayhem or even Comp Train or Peloton, if we want like the biggest example, right? Who they were already there, like they were already in the online training space. So when people, if they didn't have an affiliate to go to, for example, like if they didn't have Zoom classes through their affiliate, people look around, they're like, okay, well, these guys have been doing it for a while. Let's see what they've got. And so they already had a formula down that was a winning formula. So yeah, it's been really fun to watch, you know, and it is, because for me, I do exercise because I have to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to pick my words wisely. Like I do love fitness, and I do love I love the gym, but I'm not the kind of person who's like, oh, I'm just craving a workout right now. Like I know the end result that comes with working hard and the long-term benefits from it. And so I personally am having a harder time than most, I think, like latching onto a Zoom workout, for example. You know, I just don't get the same kick out of it. But it has been interesting for me to kind of learn that there is this whole online community of people. Some people who have been doing CrossFit for a decade, but they've never stepped into a CrossFit gym. Like I always knew they were out there, but it's been cool to see like an online training vertical where you're like, wow, this guy's been here for 5 years, just following these workouts and interacting online. And now that COVID's here, it's like there's thousands of people that are having to turn to this, tens of thousands probably. Yeah,
totally. I've been doing guided runs for years.
What is that?
So like I hate like running on the treadmill, but in New England, like I can run outside here for like 3 months of the entire year. Let me preface this by saying I don't like running, period, but I know it's good for me. And in the summertime, like I like to jog outside because it's like beautiful. And like I said, it's very limited time. And it's basically just like, I can put my headphones in and jam out and like get a nice little sweat on and know that I don't have to check my email for half an hour. Like, that's why I like it. But in the winter time, so that I don't feel like a complete slob by the time I get out on the roads, I try to stay on the treadmill a little bit, just a few miles a week. And it's just so fucking boring. I just hate it. So I use this app called Studio that basically turns your treadmill run into a workout. So basically I won't run fast or uphill unless someone fucking tells me to.
Yes.
So it's literally just in your ears, or I guess it's video on the screen now, but they just tell you what to do when. So like, now run, now walk, now go uphill, now go downhill, now take a break, now go run again. And it just makes like a half hour feel like 5 minutes.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So I feel like I've been doing that for a long time. And now that we're in the Zoom class mentality, I'm like, oh, I know how to coach this. I've been listening to this forever.
Yes. The last time I stayed at a hotel, I feel like I jumped on a treadmill and they actually had a screen where like, somebody had done a run through nature for you.
Yes.
Like you're just running and watching their nature run. And it was actually kind of pleasant. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I've seen those before. I don't mind those. It's something to make it less awful. I don't know.
This isn't something you could do like current day, but have you ever done Barry's Bootcamp?
No, but I've done like Orange Theory and those kinds of classes. I love all of that. I love like any kind. I like a Zumba class. Like I like anything that makes me sweat. I'm not really like CrossFit only all the time.
Yeah.
I like that stuff.
Get out of the lane and enjoy it. It was I did that. I guess around the time, but it was around the time of the Noble Film Festival. So it was last November, and I did it with a bunch of the Noble peeps, and I had no concept of what to expect. But that is the most seizure-inducing, stressful, crazy. I mean, enjoyable in a weird way, but your treadmill, like up and down kind of thing, made me think of it. I had not had somebody next to me like yelling in my ear about running on a treadmill in a really long time, and I just didn't even know what to do with myself. I just lost it.
Like, was it like strobe lighty and like loud music, like Soul Cycle kind of? Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't
done Soul Cycle yet, but yeah, it was cool. It was a totally different vibe.
I used to lead dance fitness classes, so pre-CrossFit, that was like my jam. Will you please do a Throwback Thursday and post some of that footage? That would be fantastic. I should, because it was serious. It was a Les Mills program. So it was like structured. It wasn't just, I guess I could have gone out and done some like super 80s, like whatever. Right. It was like structured. And I had to go away for like a 3-day weekend to get certified in this shit. I mean, not just going to put anybody out there. No, of course not. I'm just going to give anyone the 90s Britney Spears headset. Okay. Did you had the headset and everything? Oh, hell yeah. I had the headset attached to the microphone. I had everything. Can I get the video of this? I know. I need to find it. Let's one up it. Why don't we,
Oh man, this is great. Why don't we do a class next week?
We should absolutely do it.
You are going to lead a Zoom class of dance fitness, and we will not give Les Mills any credit. It'll just be Nikki's favorite dance class.
Boot camp. What's up? Get out of here, Barry.
What's up?
Who are you even?
Barry's got nothing.
He's got nothing. Guys, I'm totally in. I think we should do this. I remember routines. I don't know why. I can't remember shit in life. Like sometimes I just feel like such an idiot. But I remember dance routines like from when I was little.
Yes.
So I guarantee I could pull it out of my hat.
I'm very similar. Like I couldn't tell you much of the curriculum from anything that I did in college, but I could quote Good Will Hunting like top to bottom.
Best movie. I mean?
Yeah.
100%.
Well, cool.
John, are you in for this dance situation?
Of course I'm in. You've never seen my sick dance moves.
I do see the guitar on the wall back there though.
Oh, dude, the room I'm in, there's actually 9 guitars on the wall. It's a lot of guitars in this room.
So are you the enthusiast? You the player?
Yeah. I've played since I was 12.
Wow, no way.
Yeah, played. It feels like forever. As a matter of fact, my mom sends me this. My mom doesn't throw anything away, and she sends me a text message of a photo of the receipt of the first guitar they bought me when I was 12 years old.
No way.
Swear to God, like so crazy.
In like a loving way, or in like a so you owe us $170? Like,
no, it's just like it was more along the lines of I never throw anything away. I can't believe I found this.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, played forever, and it's
cool.
And the great news is during the pandemic, I get a lot of time to do it. So I'm actually getting pretty good these days. Like between working out and guitar, this is like the perfect life for me.
That's been awesome. This has been one of my pandemic pickups actually.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've always been one of the guys who had a guitar and like would pick it up for a second and like just never do anything with it. Like didn't even know chords. But I actually bought the app. Have you guys heard of Musician?
No.
Oh yeah. I've heard of it.
It's kind of
like, it's kind of like Guitar Hero in real life. Like,
oh, cool.
It's pretty rad. But they give you multiple instruments. So like my son is doing piano and I'm doing the guitar. And it's pretty cool, man. Like you make progress at least. Like it keeps me engaged, And
that's awesome.
If I'm bored enough, and again, I think it's a COVID-19 thing. Like I'll end up picking at it for an hour,
Yeah, you can see the 3 behind me. Actually, one's a ukulele behind me, and then
that counts.
Yeah.
Then this wall has 2 strats, a Reverend guitar, 2 tellies, and a strat on that wall too. A strat that I built, actually.
Ooh.
I know, right?
I had the world's most beautiful strat for a long. Did I tell you? Have we ever talked about that? I played guitar for 10 years.
No.
Yeah, I know. I played for like a long time. I took lessons forever when I was younger and played into college, and then.
Wow, why is it past tense?
Well, in college, my ex-boyfriend stole my guitar, and I kind of never picked it up after that.
Call him out. What's his name?
No, I'm not. Can you imagine? I'm sure he has me blocked on all fronts.
Well, fine, man. Let's let him know.
I want that guitar back.
I'm gonna chase his ass down for that. That's just uncalled for. It's like stealing somebody's barbell. Right?
I know.
But that was it, man. That's like, I don't want to bring up old things, but I mean, that's a big wound. You didn't pick it up ever again?
No, I never played after that. When I moved to Maine, I bought like an acoustic guitar and kind of like you said, like I would just strum on it every so often, and then I never really went back to it.
All right, so here's a pro tip then, Nikki, for you to take it up again and not spend a ton of money. So because I buy way too many guitars and do a lot of research. My daughter wanted to start playing, and so I started researching guitars and watching videos. And there's this company called Orangewood that makes acoustic guitars, and they're made in China, I believe, but they're put together or kind of finalized here in the States. And these things are cheap. I bought her a guitar for $250 just on a whim. I'd watch the videos. I get all these great reviews. I'm like, I'll buy her one. It's $250. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? This thing showed up. I told her, like, I might keep this guitar.
Whoa.
It sounds great. It plays great. I mean, I have a Martin on the wall behind me that I bought for $1,000, I don't know, 10 years ago. And it sounds every bit as good as that.
Wow, really?
And it plays as good. $250. Swear to God.
Orangewood. Ro, write this down.
I'm telling you, fantastic acoustics.
Yeah, like my daughter stole my guitar. She was like, "Oh, it's kind of like it's both of ours," and now she takes it all the time. So maybe I'll get myself an Orangewood, and I'll be like, "Fine, take that one."
They have their price range. I mean, they have some that are like kind of on the high end, but I think their most expensive guitar is like $650.
Oh, nice.
The 250s are great. They're like most popular model, I think, is like $400, and I mean, I'm telling you, this thing is amazing. Sounds great.
Rad.
John, did you see any of the United Movement broadcast?
A little bit.
He watched the 4 a.m. hour
Yes.
featuring his favorite co-podcaster.
Did you happen to see Dan Bailey?
I didn't. Did he play?
Oh man, did he ever?
Did he?
He sang directly into my soul.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See, I don't really know Dan. I've met him once. I don't really know him. Everybody keeps telling me that I should get together and do a song. Maybe we should have him on the podcast and he and I'll play together.
We should definitely have him on the podcast.
So bring his guitar. I'll bust mine out. The one thing you'll love this, Denro, since I've been playing again. I've had all this free time, and shocking. And the one song I've never learned, or prior to this, was Blackbird by the Beatles.
Dude.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and then I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Well, so I'm like, all right, well, I've got all this free time. It'll take me forever, but I'll learn it. I was so mad at myself. I had that thing fully learned in 2 hours. Like
what?
Yeah, 2 hours. Like, yeah, it's not that. It's honestly not that hard. It sounds hard, and it sounds amazing. It's a beautiful song, but it's honestly just like it's a kind of a elementary little rhythm pattern on your right hand, and then it's just straight up chords on your left hand. There's really, it's a little complex, but you just have to remember the patterns. It took me 2 hours. I had it figured out.
So here's what's really funny about you saying that. When I was like, okay, I want to learn guitar. So I guess if I'm telling the whole true story, my wife bought me the guitar, maybe it was last year, 2 years ago, along with some guitar lessons. So before I left Santa Cruz, I did take a couple lessons, but got bored, put it away, and moved here, hadn't touched it since. Picked it up randomly, and I was like, I really want to learn Blackbird. And so I watched YouTube videos, and like, I can do the basic, like the first kind of riff, but putting it all together, like I can't wrap my head around it. So we're going to FaceTime, and you're going to,
I'll show it to you.
I need you to pull me through that one.
Well,
you guys, I love this.
Yeah, there's a guitar program that I use, or an app called Guitar Tricks, and it has hundreds of songs, scales, chords, anything you would ever. It's honestly every bit as good as any instruction I've ever had.
Really?
And Blackbird is one of the ones they have, and it's literally everything's video. So they give you 8 videos. They break down verse, chorus, bridge, intro, and it's a woman sitting there playing guitar, and you can see her hands, and they give you the tab. And so it's broken down into pieces, right? So there's an intro, and the intro will be 30 seconds, and you'll get a 6-minute video around this 30-second portion of the song, and you learn that, and then you move to the next portion. And I'm telling you, like, I just sat there and watched the videos, read the tab. I'm like, all right, I got it. And then, I mean, I've been playing a long time, so like the chord structures weren't that hard for me, but I'd never been able to put it together until somebody like broke it down into steps. It was great.
And they put it into tab. That's what you said, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I always had the hardest time reading music for guitar. Like I read music fine when I was a kid and like played clarinet in the school band or whatever. But when I switched to guitar, I just had the hardest time reading notes, but reading tab is easy. I don't know why.
Yeah. You're a clarinet player that can't read music?
Yeah. Wasn't it strange? Like when I was a kid, like when you're little in elementary school or middle school and they like put you in the school band, like I had no problem with it. And then like later on when I picked up guitar,
right.
I couldn't
just
read
didn't translate.
Notes. No. I don't know why, but I'm like, oh, there's 6 lines. I can read tab. It makes sense. That's where my fingers go.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I might have to. Yeah, we'll get on the FaceTime. And it's funny that you mentioned the Guitar Tricks, because now it makes sense, because I've got the other app and I'm looking at YouTube, and I get an ad for Guitar Tricks every single time I look at a guitar thing on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like they do a good job advertising.
Well, it's a good app. Like I'm always skeptical of those things. Like I studied for a long time, through college, and I've had a ton of teachers, and every time I see them, I'm like, another online training thing. And because I had nothing to do, I'm like, well, I'll pay for a month. You get 7 days and you can cancel it. So I'm like, I'll pay for it, and then I'll cancel it if I don't like it after 2 days. And I was hooked like in a day.
That's awesome.
Because, it's not only did it have that, but it's got, I'm a kid of the, the 90s, I'm a Gen X. They have like almost the entire Stone Temple Pilots catalog, Pearl Jam's catalog, like all these grunge songs that I love. So I'm like, so I sat down like in an afternoon, I learned like 6 Stone Temple Pilot songs. Like, yeah, it's different for sure.
It is weird, isn't it though? That like the generation that like even your kids are exposed to, and my kids are 10 and 9, but things like you're a learned guitar player, and you still give that your stamp of approval. Like think about the way that like kids are going to learn moving forward, because technology really is catching up.
So weird.
So we got all these crazy opportunities. Yeah.
Well, it's
It's
amazing
so weird.
now.
Like they
Like,
might never sit through lessons the way we did, you
oh,
know?
they absolutely won't. Like I sit around now and just sit on the couch and watch YouTube and just, like, find songs and scales and whatever. And what's even crazier, like, I'm sitting there thinking, man, if I'd had all this technology when I was a kid, I'd be a phenomenal player, because you have all these backing tracks on Apple Music. So I'll
Yeah.
literally, like, I'll find a blues track without guitar in it, put it through my, Sonos system, turn my guitar on, and sit there and just play with this full band for an hour. Just sit there and jam.
Oh,
It's,
that's
Cool.
cool.
and it's so much more fun. And, like, you never had, as a kid, you had to have these little shitty little recorders, and you'd press play and record your own music and play over it. And isn't the same experience. So
Ro, are you going to start the McKernan family band?
Hey man, if the kids will come along, which actually right now is kind of perfect. Yeah, my son was doing piano, but he's really wants to play drums, which I'm a bad father, but I'm not gonna let him do that until, like, I have a place to put him physically, like.
That is fine. I fully
um,
respect that.
or like $1 bajillion to spend on, like, the fully electronic, like, only in his headphones thing.
Totally.
But yeah, the family band would be radical. Or no, I really do. It is a dream of mine to, like, one of our family traditions that we always do. We camp a lot. Like, we'll go to music festivals. We try and spend a lot of time around a campfire. And I've always been like, God, how cool would that be to be able to kind of, like, jam out with friends, or even if it is just the simple ones, or just play a couple of licks and sing with each other and all that kind of thing. So I'll keep you posted on my progress. And
That
John's
is
gonna
cool.
teach me Blackbird, and so I'll get that one under the belt and start there.
we're going to
Can you
track down
imagine,
Nikki's
like,
boyfriend and get
and
her
get my
guitar
strat back?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
I hate that guy. I hate that
I know.
guy.
Yeah, seriously. But wouldn't that be fun? Can you imagine, like, you, like, pack up your car and you pack up your tent and you've got, like, firewood and whatever, and you're like, oh, throw the guitars in the back too. Like, you're gonna have, like, little family sing-alongs or whatever around the fire. That is such a cool idea.
For sure, man. Kids remember it. Oh, my dad used to sing Blackbird until he was blue in the face because he couldn't sing any other songs.
Exactly. It's perfect. Oh, I love it. That makes me want to, like, play music while we camp, but I sound like a, cat having a bath when I sing. So
I don't believe it for a second.
it's true. It's sad. I mean, we sing a lot. My husband and I like to, but it's bad.
It's better in the privacy of your own home.
It's real bad.
We'll let you be the dancer, and we won't expose your singing to anybody.
Thank
I
you.
promise.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. What's keeping you busy?
Just buried under work, like I said, the marketing world is going strong, which is good. John's keeping me busy with the podcast, which is nice.
Yeah.
Just been, like, catching up with lots of people here and
Been
there.
a little packed last couple of weeks.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I have been coaching the Zoom classes for the gym, which has been fun.
Like, daily? It's a daily thing?
It's like weekly for me. The gym owner has been hustling. He's on most of the classes on his own. But for me, like, coming in once a week and seeing the same faces and, like, really understanding that some people need this to stay accountable and they need it to, continue to be a part of the community and continue to feel good about themselves. That has been really cool. I just didn't know how well it was going to go, only because, like you said, like, you don't necessarily do as much or perform as well, or John, you don't lift heavy if there aren't other people around. And I fully respect all of that. But coming to understand that people need a time and a Zoom link and a something in order to get it done. Otherwise, you'll always just be like, oh, I'll do that later. I'll do it after this. I'll do it after that. I mean, I'm doing that too. Sometimes I'll work out with the Zoom class because I'm like, shit, I didn't even get to it today.
You're right.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing anything special when you do these Zoom classes to, like, connect with the people that are actually on? Like, I was on one the other day with a group, and I honestly got off it, like, kind of annoyed. Like, everybody logged in, like, within 5 minutes they're like, all right, 3, 2, 1, go. And they did the workout, and then it was over, and they're like, all right, have a good day. And, like, there was no, like, connection of community or talking or checking in on anybody else. And I'm like, just felt like wasted time. I know the workout isn't wasted, but it felt like wasted time to me. Are you guys doing anything special?
I mean, we usually start every class with, like, a few minutes of chit chat, and that allows people obviously like the time to log on, but it also allows us to like connect on a personal level.
Yeah.
The classes are small, so it's kind of easier for me because I know everyone, and I'm like, oh, is that your dog back there? Like, what's going on in your house? And we also do like a morning just coffee, 15 minutes. Like people can pop in and like say hi and hang out, and there's no workout or anything associated with it. So I think that's been cool for people too, to just stay connected. But yeah, we always take time in the beginning to say hey, and we have a long ass home warm up, which I think is interesting because I know some gyms don't. Some gyms are like, all right, sign in, like warmed up, ready to go because we're going to do this. And we have like a 20-minute warm up that everyone has to do together. John, it's more warming up than you would ever do or than you have done in the last 4 months.
Yeah, I mean, I'd skip that part, but I'd log in to watch.
Right, of course.
Right.
I like to watch a good warm up for sure.
Yeah.
You guys should come on Saturday. Rob Lawson, let's see, Nicole Christensen and Drake Sladkey are affiliate, long-time affiliate owners, CrossFit HQ staff members for seminars. And they've been hosting these Zoom calls, and it's kind of cool. I know there's a million fundraisers going on right now, but this one, I don't even think it's just like show up to a free Zoom, and if you want to give some money, you give it. But every single week they've been deciding, they'll go to a region of the world. It's like last week was Africa, and they take all the proceeds that they collect, which is like, it's modest, but it's cool. And they'll pick out one affiliate in that area. So they picked out one affiliate in South Africa. I think this week they're doing South America. But I tell you, because it's going to be a head-to-head Roe versus Boz.
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah. He's coming back for more. So.
I was just going to ask, because I was assuming during the pandemic he was just, depressed that he just couldn't get his ass kicked again. So.
Oh, no.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet.
He's back for more. What's the WOD going to be?
It's a good question. I'm going to look right now. They posted it in advance last time, but they haven't posted yet.
What's your all-time record against Boz?
It's funny. So we did one recently for an actual affiliate, and the girl did her research, and the count that she had was something like he had 13 wins and I had 9 or something. But I don't think she was going far enough back. But in live competition, that's probably the record, like a 9 and 13 kind of thing. So he's got the upper hand. There was a couple of bad years there for this big guy. this big rig wasn't moving too well for a couple of years, and Boz hit his stride.
Are you nervous?
Not at all.
Of
not
course
at all.
Not.
It's great. It's like, especially it's fairly low stakes. I promise not to hit movement standards. Like
of course.
It's funny. This to their credit, this Yakima CrossFit, we all got DMs, and for some reason everybody was motivated to do it. Like I got a text from Boz. He's like, "Hey, these guys want to work out with us." We log on, and Sean and Tommy are there to call it. Like we thought we were just like working out with an affiliate, and all of a sudden we're on like an official like workout. And she's like, "Oh, we just programmed something we thought would be fun." The first movement was hang squat snatches with a kettlebell.
Ew.
Exactly.
So
we're like, wait, what?
Wait, no.
And so all of a sudden, this massively complex movement. I was like, wait a minute, I thought we were gonna like kettlebell snatch or something. Like, I'm out. But it was funny. It was like my left side, no problem. My right side, I was like at least 3 inches above parallel, and just I don't move that way.
See, the weird twist with one arm above. Yeah.
I'm actually disappointed now because I did a Zoom class with Yakima CrossFit. And I was their first guest. They like when all this went down, they called me and I did a workout, and they introduced me. I met all their members, and talked to them for 10 or 15 minutes, and they did a really good workout, by the way. Like they good programming, and they were really well connected. And they said to me, "Oh, we've got Elijah Muhammad on next week," and then he mentioned you guys coming on and Sean and like everybody else. And I said to the guy, "I'm like, all right, you got to do me a favor. All those guys that come after me, you got to tell them I was first, every single one." He's like, "Oh, I totally will." And then he didn't do it. So, man,
he might have mentioned I was just so stressed about the upcoming competition.
Of course,
yeah,
I was blacked out. Yeah, I'm sure he did. But yeah, what hustlers, right? Like I love
awesome.
that. He's just it's an affiliate. He's not like leveraging his name or anything. He's just like reaching out and with a lot of humility. There's actually a girl named Corey. I got to give her credit.
Yeah.
She was like, she was, she roped a bunch of people in.
Yeah,
I love how,
she did
like,
the same with me. She was great.
I love
Yeah.
how accessible everyone is right now. I love how it's very much a community. I mean, you think that people are far away and tough to reach and tough to talk to or whatever. And like, I think people are really showing the strength of the CrossFit community by coming out and being available and doing a
Yeah.
row versus bars. And it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I would even like take that and 10x it to like superstars, you know, like I feel
Totally.
like we're getting such an intimate look at like all the people in the world right now. Was I even telling you about this? I tuned into Jack Johnson's first ever Instagram live,
Oh my
and it was
God.
hilarious because he's like, he's clearly like his wife is helping him with it, and he's like, oh honey, there's a bunch of hearts going up the one side over here, and it's like
Oh my
he just
God.
was clueless with technology, and I was like, this is so awesome and intimate with someone who I like love.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people are in the same space, and even on the United in Movement, we had
Yes.
Max Greenfield on, and I forget the other guy's name, but big television star, and it was crappy with an echo, and like it, the conversation was a little disjointed, but they didn't care. They were like cool about it, and it was really fun.
That was so much fun. Can we talk about the fact that you like put together a 24-hour broadcast in like about 5 minutes?
Oh man, I can take very little credit. There were some people that probably didn't sleep for 100 hours straight, no
Mm-hmm.
joke. Like Dylan and Matt O'Keefe from the Loud My team, Kristen Toth, they were tireless, man. I was blown away by just like text threads that never ended, and
Yeah.
literally, sometimes there's some times where you're like, I know that you live in Africa, and I know that it's the middle of the night right now, and I talked to you
Yep.
for like 10 hours straight yesterday, and you text and like you'd see the bubbles immediately. You're like,
Totally.
good Lord, what's
We had like
driving you?
a text thread going on WhatsApp, and it was like everyone who was on the live broadcast. So it was like me and Ro and Bill and Chase were on it, and like Dylan and Kristen and the people in the back were on it, and like it was constant, like ramping up to the broadcast, then like all the way through it. There was just constant communication. Like, this is where we're at. Throw this number. This is what's coming up next. Like everyone just firing off. And like I put my phone on like do not disturb and like went to bed. You guys went live and like I went to bed. And when I woke up early to get on to start my shift, it was like 3,000 messages. You've missed 3,000 messages. I was like, holy shit. And then I like was on, and then I was like messaging everyone back, and I'm like, shit, I know that like Ro is sleeping and Sean and Tommy are sleeping, and like everyone's gonna wake up to 3,000 of my text messages.
Yep.
Sorry.
We all knew we were getting into.
It was awesome. It was so fun.
Which is what's cool about WhatsApp too, because on, like Apple will sell you out. If you put it on Do Not Disturb, it tells everybody in the group. Like,
Oh my God, it does?
This person's sleeping. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's the same as when it's like Nikki has left the group. It's like, oh, all right, Nikki, I see what's up now.
Oh shit.
You pulled that one a couple times, did you? We should test it out. I'm not guaranteeing. I don't want to ruin your day, but
I mean, what's done is done, but sorry, everyone.
That's right.
I do check them. Just
Sure you do.
That's why. Yeah, sure you do.
But yeah, it was easy. It was easy to silence while we were sleeping.
That's an understandable use case,
Yeah, totally.
Expected use case even.
That's fun. Have you been sort of involved in any other projects kind of like that one? I know you've been busy, but that seemed like something that sort of came out of the woodwork and was almost perfect for the fact that we were like home and able to figure out how to operate technology and things like that.
Totally. Yeah, this I think they're calling it, what are they calling it? Worldwide Zoom has been the next thing. And so last week I did one, I'll mention that. And it was Chuck Carswell was on there, Nicole Carroll was on there, Amy Sakamoto was on there. Yeah, it was really cool. And they did, this one was, and John, you could appreciate this because there was a really cool buildup. There was like intros and everybody said, hey, there were people from all over the world. The workout was legitimately cool. And it was very apparent that you guys can appreciate the difficulty of like putting together broadcasts, but they had done the legwork and figuring out like how to make a broadcast on Zoom work. So they were great at hosting. They muted everybody at the appropriate time. They would unmute people one by one. And then even at the end, there was one dude still working. and they made it so like everybody could kind of clap them across the finish, and it felt authentic and real and cool, which it's kind of hard to do, you know.
Yeah.
And so that was a really cool one, and we sat around for probably 10 minutes afterwards and did like a Q&A with Sakamoto. And actually, I hope it's archived somewhere, because it was really, really cool to see she and Nicole just started kind of shooting the shit about named workouts and old stories from their days together at the gym. And yeah, it was a really fun, it was last Sunday. So it was just a cool Sunday morning, you know?
That's awesome.
And then then afterwards is like, I was drinking coffee and most people were drinking beer because they were in Timbuktu, like 17 hours ahead or whatever, you know?
Totally. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, fun world.
I could drink beer at 9 a.m. personally, but that's just me.
Well, amen that. You know, no judgment. Yeah. Some of them could have been in the same you know, time zone as me. Who knows?
It's like the two things I've learned about myself in quarantine. The first is that I love to touch my face. It is my favorite thing to do.
Yes.
And the second is that I think I might be a mild alcoholic, because every morning I'm like, I could have a cocktail.
What time is it? What time is it?
Every hour feels the same. Every day feels the same, and every hour feels the same. So why not have a mimosa?
I'm getting really used to 5 p.m. showers of being my only shower of the day, you know?
Yeah. And early dinners and stuff. Like my husband and I had not ever made dinner and eaten dinner before like 9 p.m.
Right.
No, because I'm like working and then we're straight to the gym and then I'm probably coaching a class and like dogs and laundry and like whatever. I don't know. And now it's like 6 p.m. and I'm like, should we eat dinner like normal people? I don't know.
Right. 8 p.m. bedtime, or binge watch and or drink.
Definitely it's the binge watch and drink. You watching anything good right now?
I finished Tiger King, not obviously unique in that one. And I'm in this really weird place with the MJ documentary where I watched the first episode, but I know that the whole thing comes out on Netflix like when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in this weird place where I feel like I kind of want to wait and then binge watch it, but I could probably binge watch and just catch up anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've only watched one episode of that, but I really, really enjoyed it. What else do we watch, man? Like, my kids love any competition show. So American Idol, America's Got Talent, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Those are pretty fun family shows.
We love AGT. We don't watch a lot of television like that at all, but for some reason we really, really like America's Got Talent.
It's pretty addictive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
really high production value. They get me every time where they're like tear-jerky stories and like the music comes on and I'm like, oh my God, all the feels.
Right. Well, and it's almost like, I mean, obviously people are they've all got these weird things they can do, but like the format of it is as predictable as The Bachelorette, you know,
totally.
Like, you know what's coming.
Yep.
But still, it's really fun to watch it through the eyes of a child.
That's awesome. We've been rewatching old seasons of Great British Baking Show.
Oh, I love that show.
It's so good.
Never even heard of it.
What?
True story. Yeah.
You've never watched Bake Off?
No.
Dude, you gotta watch it with your kids if they like competition shows, because it's like high tension, like it's a cooking show, but everyone is so nice, like genuinely nice to each other and like helping each other, and half the time they just lay on the ground and like stare into their ovens. It's very sweet. It's very
That's
British.
Awesome. So like opposite vibe of Gordon Ramsay.
Completely opposite. Could not be more opposite.
Okay. It's like Gordon Ramsay's cousins.
I got hooked on one on Netflix called Sugar Rush, and they make desserts. I love
Sugar Rush.
Oh my God, it's so good. And when you watch you watch the first couple episodes, it's like really kind of a little confusing, and you don't know who's going to win. You're kind of rooting for everybody, and then by like the fourth or fifth show, you know exactly who's going to screw up. You know?
Oh, totally.
You can see it coming.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah. And then you become like a baking expert, even though like I can't bake shit. You know. But I'm shouting at the screen, don't put those in the oven yet. They're not ready. You know,
You're blowing it.
Cakes. Your cakes aren't cool yet.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah,
so much fun
too. Well, cool.
It's funny. I watched a Western called The Sun with Pierce Brosnan.
Ooh.
Which is an epic. But yeah, it was weird because like for the first 2 or 3 episodes, is like, this is completely unbelievable. Like, you should be James Bond with a British accent. Like, it's not working for me. But then I watched all 3 seasons, I think. So,
then I was in.
Yeah, so it worked.
Well, now's the time to explore new and unique things on Netflix for sure.
I've seen it all. I'm pretty sure I finished Netflix. I'm almost positive.
I'm impressed.
And done. Yeah,
Yes.
everything says when everything says watch again.
Yeah,
right.
it doesn't say, are you still watching when I flip it on? It's like, are you sure you want to start everything over? You know?
You sure?
yes.
We're pretty sure we think you have a problem. In fact, we sent you a refund.
Yes.
Please log off. Log off now. Well, cool, Ro. Thanks for hopping on with us. This has been so much fun.
That's great.
Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure, guys. Anytime.
Good luck with kicking Boz's ass. Got to get that record up, man.
Seriously.
Thank you. I'll post about it. I'll make sure that you guys got it. John, I'm going to reach out to you offline, and we're going to do Blackbird.
Yay.
Yes, before we hang up, I'm gonna show you this guitar. But
yeah, will you show me Blackbird?
Sure. Sure. I'll show it to you real quick.
Yes.
All right. Well, for everyone listening, nobody listening is going to get to hear Blackbird, but we appreciate everybody else being on. Ro, thanks for being on.
No, you got to do it for everybody.
Well, we need to make like a Patreon, and then people can listen to John's music.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes, I'll do music on the podcast at a different time. But for tonight, I'm just going to sign off and say thank you to everyone who is paying attention to this, both Nikki and my mother. And yeah, pretty much.
Hi, moms.
Yeah, hi, moms. All right. Well, thanks to everyone that was listening. We appreciate it, and we will talk to you all soon.